Okay, we are live with Gia, and we'll be going into Gia's Sun, Jupiter, Aries conjunction, very close to the descendant.
Wait, can I stop you?
Sure.
I cannot show my birth date.
Um, okay, I can, when I upload the video, I can just block it out.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, interesting.
It's a very secretive life.
Yeah, totally, I see that. Can we start with what I already learned about the dominant?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay.
Hmm.
Aries is the dominator because it's ruled by Mars, right? So someone who's instinctual, intense, commanding, disruptive, loud, unapologetic, almost selfish, very self-secure. So I think it's a good place to start, like just contemplating the nature. Okay. What does it mean to be a dominatrix?
It means to be someone who is so in control of themselves that they can help guide others, which is what I feel that I do. Because a lot of people, most of my work was with men, and I feel that I lead men through very intimate emotions. It's not sex, but there's a lot of psychological loading, considering the fact that most men are not allowed to be real. You always have to be masculine, you always have to be very stoic. And so I bring that out of people in a safe, controlled space where they can actually admit to being vulnerable.
How do you get what are your behaviors? How do you act in that dynamic?
Very calm, very understanding. I'm actually not the type of domina to scream or to act very aggressive. Very much a smile will get further than yelling or anything like that. And so I get a lot of things just by virtue of being evilishly kind.
Okay, this still feels like lots of energy moving. Like I'm seeing like intense dancing, for example.
Oh, I'm also a dancer, not a spicy dancer, but I'm a belly dancer also.
Okay. And this feels like a lot of movement. Like you have so much energy you can take on the world.
Definitely makes you feel that way to work in the work that I do. It's very much, I don't know if you've ever seen, there used to be a Giphy of like what people think a dominatrix is versus what a dominatrix actually is. And it would be like, people think that you're carrying a whip and like yelling orders, and in reality it's more closely to like digging into people's subconscious mind and like doing a lot of, even though I'm not a therapist, but it is therapeutic.
Uh-huh. So it's like, well, what I hear is like breaking people down, like kind of disrupting them.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this also feels very much like even outside of your work, like a big leader energy. Someone who easily stands up for themselves or for other people.
Absolutely. For example, like I am very disruptive, and it's even happened that I had an experience where my sister fell into a coma and the doctors were willing to pull the plug. And I was able to connect with the doctor all the way in another state, which is normally unheard of, and got him to coach on her case. And she's alive.
Hmm. Okay, this also feels like It's like being one of the guys, being welcomed by men, being good with men, knowing how to work men, being intelligent about how they are.
Yes.
And it feels like getting first of all, knowing some men, I especially feel younger guys that are useful to you and that are very helpful to you. I feel like they're a presence that is not getting in your way.
That's interesting. Most of my life I've actually been surrounded by older men, especially
Ooh,
like as not just as clients, but also as family. So that's interesting.
old women, you said,
And older men too.
and older men.
Yes.
Under what, like, why?
In general, my family, most of my siblings are women, and when we came to the US, I was basically just surrounded by my mother and sister, and my siblings stayed back home. So most of the men that I encountered were teachers and then, fellow students in classes, but not in my general life. Like I don't really have younger men unless it's like the children in my family, which are mostly boys at this point.
Uh-huh, yes.
Okay.
Okay, this are you also like an athlete, like very sportive?
I am, but not in the traditional athlete way. So I do more of yoga and things like that. I actually cannot, my body, I have a condition where my body cannot really engage in like hardcore sports because of a spinal thing.
Hmm,
So even though I would like to, but I have to keep it very, very soft. Still strenuous, but I have to be very gentle with my spine.
interesting. Do you have a lot of fire? Like you get angry or excited very easily? And also being ready to move at any moment, like being reactive, being very quick.
No. Quick, yes, but not reactive. Well, internally, I feel like I am, but what people see is very controlled. So I'll have a lot of ideas in my head, for example, when something does anger. But I understand that I carry a lot of energy in my voice and I carry a lot of energy in my actions. And
Yes.
so I always think of the outcome first. And I always
Uh-huh.
kind of picture my words being like little daggers. And so I always think about how the other person's going to feel. Not muting myself either, but always thinking of the most, like, of the compassion in any given situation.
Interesting. That makes me think a lot about your Libra rising. The
Yes.
Sun Jupiter Aries makes me think you're kind of pushing people out of their comfort zone and also motivating people.
I can definitely see that. Almost everyone that I encounter, they do change.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, bringing people to new chapters in their life, showing them something very different, opening their
Mhm.
mind.
I know it's not showing, but I feel that like it also has a lot to do with the Pluto being in my first house. So it's like that
Mhm.
Libra is very charged.
Also, I feel you like doing different jobs, maybe for brief periods of time, enjoying new things, enjoying change, enjoying learning something, starting something different, going somewhere new, traveling.
Sounds very accurate. Most of my life I have like not only through BDSM, but like I have worked a lot of different things. I'm a hypnotist, I'm a dominatrix. I've also been a wellness coach, and I'm also really good at doing other things. I'm also an artist, I'm a writer, a painter. I know how to do graphic design, I know how to do web design, so I have like lots of different things
Mm-hmm.
that I've come to learn. I love learning. Like I'm always reading a book, I'm always taking a class.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one curiosity leads to the next, and then that starts a new path.
Okay, do you feel the Sun Jupiter in that?
I do. I feel that it's a very, when I'm intrigued by something, it's very, there's a lot of passion in learning for me. And it's very fiery and like, I must learn. Once I start questioning something, I must figure it out. And it's relentless. Like, I have to get it.
Can you give an example from something lately?
So, for example, with human design, I've gotten into it. I was interested. And now I'm like reading the books. I found out that I'm a projector. I'm finding out like what are the aspects, like both in my natal chart and my human design that kind of have pointed me in the person that I am because I'm not just a dominatrix, I'm the person behind that. And I found it very interesting. So I read the books, I'm taking the class, and I want to extract that knowledge to benefit, myself, and then like also benefit the people around me by telling, oh, like let me read for you. Like, let me practice with you. Let me see what your chart looks like. Let me see what, why things are the way they are for you.
Okay, I feel like you also want to help people take action.
Yes, very much so. Um, One of the things about doing my cat is being very rowdy. I don't know if you can hear it. um, I'm really good at seeing things before they happen, like pattern recognition. And so a lot of times I try to, when I see a pattern working against someone, I try to tell them about it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, unfortunately, I'm right, which really sucks. I feel like it's kind of like a burden to be able to have like really good pattern recognition because sometimes you see like the way that people will hurt from their choices and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you see that in those aspects, like often like having that fire be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm. Like
Like it's
how?
almost like shining on something too much
Mm-hmm.
that then people look against it like, oh, like why do you want to know it all? Why do you want to,
I see. There's the Sun, Jupiter, Aries. I feel like you could also incinerate or burn people or dominate them, but in this case, not even like from a dominatrix perspective, but just getting bigger than someone, not being overshadowed or having someone talk on you.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel that I have threatened a lot of people just by being, and my being is very polarizing. Even
Yes.
when they don't know what I do, it's very polarizing to them. Like my energy, the way that I move, the way that I talk, the way that I say what I mean, and I'm very I'm kind, but at the same time, I speak my mind. And I think people get uncomfortable of seeing someone be that way.
Yes. I feel like you take action when other people would hold back, and people are so impressed by how quickly you can do things, change your mind, get something done. Yeah, this feels very productive also. Like just being once you start something, you're kind of all in.
I feel that that's true to a point. I feel that that's true if I don't stop to second guess. Once I second guess, I pause.
Hmm.
So I kind of have to be like a pinball machine, how the ball just goes and then just doot, 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 doot. I have to do that. Otherwise, if I overthink it, I hold back.
You know, this feels to me also like pain, like losing someone or being in a hospital setting or something where there's a lot of like sirens and people are moving fast. I feel that kind of critical energy.
I've been in a hospital a lot, a
Uh-huh.
lot. Um, I have a condition in my spine that has kept me like in and out of hospitals throughout my life. And I've also been, I have a big relationship with death. I've taken care of a lot of people while they're dying
Yeah.
and kind of been their advocate at that moment. And especially like coming up against family members when they wanted to like keep them on artificial like life systems and things like that. Like being that voice that says, no, like it's time to respect this person's wishes. It's time to let them go. You know,
Uh-huh.
this is what they've wanted. Like, and I feel that I have a very good understanding of and with death.
Did you lose anyone?
I've lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a little emotional.
I'm sorry?
I said I got a little emotional there.
Uh, there's something very different coming. It's more about going very fast, maybe like on a motorcycle or in a car or maybe in an ambulance, but there's like rushing, like you have to get somewhere very fast
Um,
or adrenaline.
I think that's been a bunch of times. Like it's been a repeated experience, like having different members of my family in the hospital and having it become like very life or death quickly.
Yes.
Like, for example, my sister who was in a coma, we all thought she just had a fever, and then 24 hours later, she was literally about to be unplugged. Or like I had an aunt who was very like wonderful person and had a very bad disability, and having our caretaker basically like really like deny her care, and then us having to like rush over, get her to the hospital, get her care. And then with me, like I suffered a spinal accident, and it was the same thing. Like hurry up, get to the hospital before my spine shuts down, and then I could have been paralyzed, but I wasn't.
Interesting. That makes me think about appreciating movement more than other people. Like the freedom to move for you is so much bigger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I feel like people take for granted even the smallest things sometimes. And I don't know if you've ever like done something so simple and been aware of its simplicity and beauty. For example, like just putting your finger on your lip where you are right now. Like it's something millions of people can't do because they can't move. Perhaps they had a stroke. Perhaps, you know, they have ALS or something like that that stops them from moving. And so with my aunt who suffered severe muscular dystrophy, her mind was vibrant. She was a witch and a reader. Um, you know, but being forced to live a life in a chair and not being able to leave her bed. For me, having been in hospitals so often and then almost seeing like my own mobility like come to a halt. So I do appreciate it. I appreciate being able to even grasp a pen because at one point I almost wasn't able to.
Wow. Yeah, I can see movement just has a very different meaning for you. And it also makes me think about helping other people move on from a relationship, transport them from one city to another, move them emotionally,
Hmm.
but just help people have a breakthrough moment. Yeah, breakthrough.
Definitely. Um, I'm also a hypnotist outside of a dominatrix, and I feel that a lot of my work has to do with that. So helping
Mm.
people, like for example, I work with a lot of law enforcement and people in like first responder jobs
Yeah.
to
Okay.
move from like PTSD. Like I've had people that like, when they close their eyes, they see the bodies they've dealt with, and so helping them go through that and be able to sleep at night. Um, same things like getting across hurdles in their own paths.
Yes, people who are going through major transitions and painful moments, and you're there as like a guide, as a teacher, as someone to help them make it not so scary. And again, I see the Aries like the first responders, right? So it's the same, those people that come to you, warriors.
Hmm.
I was also feeling about being fascinated by new life, like by a plant breaking through stone or by a garden and becoming abundant with like the bloom in the spring, that kind of energy.
That's very accurate. I do love to observe nature avidly and like the most mundane of things, so like sunsets, sunrises. Um, as you said, a plan, but also there's a lot of gratitude for
Yeah.
things just being like not taking my environment for granted.
Okay, I'm also feeling like martial arts or something, self-defense, but just knowing how to fend off and be strong.
So it's funny because I wanted to join martial arts, but I can't because of my spine.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have verbal judo, so I'm very good
Uh-huh.
at defending myself with words. Even I've had like very, very scary situations happen to me, and my words and words alone have gotten me out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's I guess dangerous people that you meet from time to time.
Yes. And also in very risky situations. So for example, like I travel alone a lot.
Yeah,
I've I've been I meet a lot of strangers and I'm often in places by myself where I really don't know anyone.
yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of independence, being super independent.
Hmm.
Makes me think about you losing relationships if you were in them, like starting over multiple times, like having maybe shorter but very powerful connections with people, and then you go your own way.
So I have my own I do have my significant other that I've been with for quite a long time. However, my most of my because with BDSM, like a lot of my relationships are very short and intense.
Mm.
Even though I have like my primary relationship that is romantic and my other ones are not romantic, it's just professional. But those professional relationships are very charged. And I actually repel people when they realize that I am in a relationship already and I have a romantic partner and that I'm not I'm monogamous and I'm not willing to open that space to anyone else. So that's when people kind of leave my life.
Uh-huh. What does your partner do? Just if you can share.
She is a first responder,
Okay.
which is why I deal with a lot of first responders because I meet them through her.
Yeah. Right? Did you see Aries again? The first responder. Aries first.
You're like, it all makes sense now.
All right, let's pause here for today. Part where you showed your face, I can delete from
Okay, thank
the,
you.
the recording. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, before I stop recording, I'm just curious how you. All right, so we talked about Sun, Jupiter, Aries, and pretty much everything that we were. Did you feel entering that stream where you see the Sun, Jupiter, and it's starting to click for you as well?
I feel like it did. It left me with a lot of questions though, because um I feel like I definitely see it and I definitely feel it. And it kind of gives me more questions as to like I always have this feeling that people want to squish that fire out of me.
Hmm.
Like it's beautiful to observe, but they feel threatened by its light. So
I
when they
feel
see
like
it for someone else, they're like, "Oh, wow." But then if it gets too close, they're like, "Yeah."
exactly because it's on the descendant, which is like your relationship to other people. So that to me feels like you're taking up a lot of space and you can burn people from your intensity, from your loudness, from your heat, from your warmth. Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, and that's where that I feel like I always I had mentioned to you that like I act with like always thinking on compassion in my mind because I know that I have that effect. And so I think of my words, I think of my actions. And so for example, when I react, like I'm willing to cool my anger down because I know that if I react in anger, it's an explosion. But not an explosion of rage. It's not rage because I'm not reactive. But it is that the words I say will mark you for life type of thing.
Yeah.
And that, for example, when I disappear from someone's life, it feels like someone shut the water off.
Uh-huh.
Like it's there's an emptiness and you can't make it
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about like looking at your chart more in that way, thinking about your story and reflecting on the things you're experiencing?
I do have a lot of questions about it. So for example, I have Pluto in the first house, but
Mm-hmm.
technically in the second. And I kind of wonder how those two things, like that first house and seventh house, like how they play off of one another.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna stop recording here and then you and I can talk about that like off camera. So
Okay.
for now, I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone watching from myself and from Gia. All right.